What's going on, everybody? It's Mark back here with some more Draft League content, and today we've got the MPL semifinals versus Greg, coach of the Los Angeles Clefables. Greg is a very cool guy, one of my favorite internet people, and he's part of the West Coast Best Coast, so make sure to go check him out. Like I said, very, very cool dude. And he is another person that is a replacement coach, so we're two replacement coach playing in the semifinals, so that's pretty neat. His team is very good. I think it's structurally it's a lot better than mine, but of course we are the GOATs, so... Oh wait, no, I can't say that. That's what Chimpack says. Never mind. We're lizards and we're strong and stuff, but I'm a little pressed for time, so I'm not going to do a team builder. But Greg's team, as you can see, he brought Thundurus, Therian, Tyrantrum, Tentacruel, Scizor, Lando T, and Celebi. Some of his other things that he left at home, also very considerable threats, were Mons like Volcarona, which had Z eligibility. Lando T also has Z eligibility. What else did he have? He had the Volcarona, he had Hariyama, Tauros, Gardevoir, he had Alolan Muck. He had a lot of very spooky things against me, and these were the 6 he ended up bringing with. And my team is somewhat similar to last time. I brought a few similar sets and a few not so similar sets. So to start off, we have a Sashly Dugtree. I'm running Adamant with Rocks and Toxic, so I could peg the Landorus if he's going to be his rocker, so that I can Toxic it and wear it down so that my other Mons can break it quicker. Dougie's decent against his team, however, he does have both Therians, which can potentially set up against it if I was, choiced, and Celebi kind of hard walls it, so it's not amazing, but it did a few jobs. And it can also trap the Tentacruel and the Tyrantrum if they don't have countermeasures for it, which I can't imagine they will have it, so that he can more easily bring in his Therians to deal with it if I was choiced. And Rocks are very good against his team, however, he does have Tentacruel, and last time I did run a very fast Metagross no, I didn't run fast Metagross, I ran fast Gliscor, which outsped his Tenta, so it's pretty likely that he's going to have a very fast Tentacruel to be able to outspeed that. And I will say that I didn't have my greatest prep in this game, but we have a very fast Gliscor, enough to outrun a max speed Landorus Therian with Ice Fang, U-Turn, EQ, and Ice Fang, U-Turn, EQ, and Roost, yeah. With enough HP to hit it's like 204 HP and then 76 attack. The HP was there to hit a poison heal number, and Gliscor is very good against this team. It is pretty hard for him to kill, and my ground ice bug coverage hits his team very, very hard. He has little that can deal with it. Then I have my Alakazam, and this is my countermeasure to all of his setup threats, and he has a lot of them. He's got potential DD and Rock Polish Tyrantrum. He has Dual Dance, Agility, or just Nasty Plot Thundurus. He has the ability to run Dual Dance or Rock Polish or just SD Landorus. He has Quiver Dance Volcarona. He's got Nasty Plot Celebi. He has a ton of setup options that I was very afraid of, so I decided to bring Sash, Psych Up, Alakazam, and I brought Psyshock, HP Ice, and Shadow Ball as my coverage. Now I really wanted to have HP Fire to hit the Scizor, and I probably should have had it, however, I really couldn't deal with the Lando too well with my team. If it got up in agility, if it got up a Dual Dance, then it was just over. So I needed to have some way to hit it, and I needed Psyshock so that if I Psych-upped a Volcarona's Quiver Dance, I'd be able to knock it out from full with a modest +1 Psyshock. So Zam has a little 4-move slot syndrome. It got hard-walled by Alolan Muck, so I'm very glad he didn't bring that. I almost didn't want to bring Zam because of that, but so if I had HP Fire, then it might have been a little better. HP Fire Psychic would have been best against the team he brought with Signal Beam or Dazzling Gleam as other coverage. However, I just couldn't afford it. And next we've got a pretty fun set. I have Agility mixed Metagross with the Life Orb, HP Fire, Ice Punch, and Earthquake. Now, there's another mon that has bad 4-move slot syndrome, but it hits everything it needs to. Ice Punch hits Thundy, Ice Punch hits the Cat, Lando, and Celebi for decent damage. EQ is going to hit the Tyrantrum and the Tentacruel really hard, and then HP Fire is going to do a lot to Scizor. This was a good Scizor lure because Scizor can just kind of beat my team. I was very afraid of Choice Banded Bullet Punch. If I get things weakened, then I can just straight up get swept and I can't do anything about it since it's not a mon that you can outplay if you let your team get weakened. So that's something I had to look out for. And overall, if I get a Rock Polish up and his team is weakened, then Meteoros can just kind of win, which would be pretty fun. Then I have Tapu Koko. I'm running mixed with Electrium Z, Wild Charge, U-Turn, HP Ice, and Roost. And that's a pretty interesting set. Wild Charge was there mainly to be able to hit stuff like the Alolan Muck, the Gardevoir, the Volcarona, all of which did not come. It's good to hit like Scizor and Tentacruel, but overall, potentially a different set. Could have been a little better. However, it's still a relatively decent threat to his team, and if he's not Scarfed Thundy or Lando, then it has a pretty free U-turn against most of his team. And lastly, we have a pretty good threat against his team, which is Choice Scarf Staraptor. If he's not running Scarf Thundy, then it outspeeds his entire team. I'm running max speed because I wanted to be able to at least speed tie with the Volcarona, since if worst came to worst and win a speed tie to win the game, I'd want to have that one. And I've got just really standard U-turn, Brave Bird, Double Edge, Close Combat. This thing has a little bit worse matchup from last time, since now he does have Tyrantrum, which is a good switch into it, and it also really threatens my team. So, and he also has the potential to run like Fizz Def Lando, which can easily take hits from it and chip me down. So this is a pretty worrying matchup. I was not super confident going into this one, but we'll just go ahead and get into it. So I'm going to lead off with my Dougie, because I want to get my rocks up ASAP, and that's why I brought Sash, to just get them up and go at it. I'm just going to have some water. So he's going to lead off with his Thundurus, as I lead off with Dugtrio. Now, if he is not Scarfed, he is not going to stay in right here, because he could... If I'm Choice Banded with Stone Edge, he would just die, unless he was also a Berry or Sash Thundy as well, but I somewhat doubted it, as I'm just going to be able to lay up my Stealth Rocks. Now this is really good. He goes hard into Landorus, so I'm kind of anticipating him to either be a setup variant, in which case I will Toxic him, or a Rocks defensive variant, in which case I'll Toxic him. Turns out he is Choice Scarfed Rocks, though, which is neither here nor there. Definitely did not expect Scarf Rocks Lando, but it's going to be able to get the rocks up, and then he's forced to switch out. Dougie cannot threaten his team at all at -1, which is a little unfortunate, especially since he has Celebi, which is a hard wall. So I have to go out, and I'm going to go hard into my Staraptor here, or do I go into... No, I go hard into my Gliscor here, so that I could get my Toxic Orb going and have that sort of deal. Now, I did consider this could be offensive fast with HP Ice. However, I felt like defensive was probably going to be better off for him. He does reveal lefties, so that makes me believe he's going to be more of a defensive Celebi, in which case I feel comfortable clicking U-turn right here and getting off the damage, because I'm pretty confident I will outspeed it, and I do, which is good. So we're going to U-turn on out, get some nice chip on it, showing that he's pretty physically defensive, some sort of mixed defensive spread, but definitely not max Fizz Def. And we're going to go out into Koko right here. Maybe taking an HP Ice, maybe taking whatever, because I can take any hit decently, aside from an Earth Power if he went for it. He's going to go for the Giga Drain, and that does more than I want it to, because I keep switching Koko in on special moves, and it just doesn't like them. So I have to like teach myself to not switch those in, but what I can do here is click U-turn, and since I'm max attack lonely, I can just, or naughty, I can just kill it. So I'm going to go for it, as he does switch out and go into his Lando right here. Now, if I went for the Roost or the HP Ice, that would have really helped me out. Definitely Roosting could have been a good play for me. But I wanted to get the momentum, as we're going to be able to U-turn out, get some more chip damage on this Landorus, and I ran a few calcs, and it doesn't look like Staraptor can kill from here, and I just don't want to take the chip, especially when he has immediate responses to it. So I'm going to go into Gliscor, because I feel like I can take on a Scarf Lando pretty well. Now here what I should have done is just gone right for the Roost to scout for a Hidden Power Ice. That definitely would have been the better play. However, I didn't want to lose momentum if he just U-turned, but he is going to go for the HP Ice, which is not good for me. It's going to do a lot, and I'm going to get Ice Fanged. Now, that's not going to kill him, because after the game it turned out that he was defensive Scarf. Apparently he meant to be Rocky Helmet, but it turned out to be Scarfed, I guess. So that's not ideal for me at all. My thing is Weaken, and I am forced to switch out here. He's going to go hard into his Tentacruel right here, interestingly enough. I guess either predicting the Ice Fang or me to switch out, or maybe the Roost. But I'm going to go into my Metagross here. Now, I can take on this thing as long as he does not burn me. So what I'm going to do is go right for the Earthquake. Now, there's no point for me to Rock Polish here because I don't have Meteor Mash, meaning I can't kill the Tyrantrum. So that's kind of sucky, but I'm going to go for the Quake, as he does show to be Shuca Berry, and what this is going to let him do, he does show he's faster, so that makes me believe he will be very fast to outspeed my Gliscor. And now I could have gone for the Rock Polish there, and he probably would not have gone into he definitely wouldn't have gone hard Tyrantrum, so probably Rock Polish was my play right here, but I go for the Quake to knock him out, and I was really hoping what he'd do would go hard into Scizor so I could 2-hit KO it with Quake into HP Fire. So I guess that could have been a play, or just agilitying to force him into like Scizor would have been good. But he's going to go into his Thundurus now, and without the rocks on the field, I don't have any way to punish this, and I really can't find a good opportunity to get my rocks back up. He's going to Thunderbolt here. Now, this doesn't tell me anything about his set. He could be a setup variant. He could be Scarfed. I don't know. I'm going to go into my Dougie and click Edge right here. Possibly going for rocks would have been the better play, but I just couldn't mess around with this being like a setup variant or something. So he's going to go hard into Celebi, which is going to lose me a lot of momentum because this thing just like beats my team. And I believe right here I'm going to go ahead and... what do I go into? I forget. Now I'm going to go hard into my Staraptor, which I'm forced to take rocks in the supplemental hit. I figured he'd go for the Grass move or Recovery, so what I can do is just kind of come in and take it. He goes for the Giga Drain. It doesn't do much. I'm above 50%, so I can take 2 rock, come into rocks twice and fire off hits. However, since I have recoil moves, it's likely that I cannot come into rocks twice and live a third time. So I'm going to click U-turn once again, get my momentum, but that's all that Staraptor's really going to be able to do, as he just can go into Lando here, and he's going to get the drop. So even if I locked myself into a move, if I locked myself into Double Edge, he could just go back into Celebi and start setting up potentially, or go into his Scizor. And if I went for Brave Bird, then he can just go into Tyrantrum, and I don't have a Tyrantrum switch in. So I'm going to go into my Dougie, as he's going to as his Lando's going to die to rocks. Or not rocks, poison. So it's Dougie in, and I'm not in a great spot at this point, because I realized, oh shit, Banded Scizor just cleans through my team at this point, so I kind of have to hope it's not that. And he goes for the Bullet Punch, and it's like, if it's banded, I just lose. He's not banded, however, which is good, because he shows he's not attack invested at all. As I get my rocks up, and now what I'm going to do here is click EQ, and he does not go for the Bullet Punch right here. So it's like, okay, this might be fine, if he's, depending on what his set is. It does a lot, and then he's going to go for Sub, and once I see this, I'm just kind of like, well, that's kind of it, because if he's Sub, he's more than certainly Sub SD, because I have an Alomomola, and this way he can set up on me. So he's going to go ahead and click Bullet Punch now, and if he shows SD, I lose the game, essentially, because I don't have HP Fire on my Alakazam, and nothing on my team that can knock it out from where it's at can take a Bullet Punch from where they are at. So I'm going to go into my Gliscor here, and it is a roll for him to be able to knock me out with the BP, and if he just goes for it and kills me, then there's nothing I can do with it. No, actually, he was guaranteed to kill me. However, he's not going to go for the immediate kill, as I could have been physically defensive, and he is going to go for the Swords Dance, and at this point, unless he chokes, I just lose the game, and there's nothing I can really do about it. So that's groovy. He's gonna SD, and the only thing I can do is start spamming Earthquake against this thing, and hopefully I can break a Sub and get Chip on it. Potentially, if he's like not Roost or anything like that, then there's a chance I could kill it, but that's unlikely. So he's gonna opt to, I believe, SD again right here. Yeah, he goes for a second Swords Dance, getting a little greedy, but guaranteeing that he can just kill everything on my team. and at this point it's just over pretty much, unless I can force him out, making him think I have HP Fire Alakazam. So that's less than nifty. But all I can do here is just click Earthquake. He goes for the BP, and that's going to do a lot since he's at +4, and I'm just going to go for the Quake, and all I can hope is that I either scare him out with my Zam, making him think I have HP Fire, which would be a humongous choke since he wouldn't be breaking my Sash in that case, or we get a Super Mega Ultra Crit, in which case I could potentially win. So I don't want to lose my Gliscor, because if for some reason he switches out, it's still useful versus the rest of his team, whereas Coco really isn't. It just doesn't have any... It didn't have any foothold in this match, or it didn't have any footing in this matchup, so he's going to Bullet Punch. If he went for the Roost right there, I would have been a little annoyed, but it wouldn't have mattered. So now all I can hope for is that either I crit him with a Shadow Ball with my Zam and knock him out, or he gets shook and hard switches out and lets me potentially have a chance. But his winning play is just click Bullet Punch and break my Sash so that the rest of his team can win. And he does that. I don't have HP Fire, and unless I get a crit right here, then I am going to lose this game to Greg. So we're going to go for the Shadow Ball. Can we get the lucky crit and potentially save our ass? No, we're not, and that's going to be the game. So Greg did a very good job, and he's going to walk away with a 4-0, which is not something I take often. So a little down about this game, but of course it's all on me because I did not prep nearly as well as I should have. I didn't put in the time that I should have. I was busy, yes, I was lazy, more importantly, and I just didn't put it in, and Greg tried really hard, and Greg's a good battler, he's a good planner, and he beat me. So I'm sad. I definitely wanted to win this league, but it shows that in my prep this week that I didn't want it enough. I didn't want it badly enough, and Greg did. So congrats to him. Make sure to go check him out. He's a great guy. Try not to be super salty in this one, but there's always a little bit of the San Francisco ocean breeze coming through my microphone when I take that L. So yeah, it is what it is. We take the loss. We were lazy. We got out prepped and possibly outplayed. I don't know. It wasn't my best game, and it just happens. So we lost, but that's okay. This isn't the end of the world for me. And if we think about it in perspective, I did extremely well in this league. I came into the MPL, inherited an 0-2 record, lost my first game, and then I went on to win 10 games in a row in here. And I think that's pretty cool. I won the rest of my league games, and then I won my first round playoff match before I finally broke that win streak against Greg, who, albeit I think is one of the better players in this thing. I still think on my best day I beat his best day, but this wasn't my best day for sure, and he got me, so yeah. That's it. This was a fun season. I learned some new things, got to experience some new mons that I probably wouldn't draft if it was my own. Like, I don't think I'd ever take Gliscor or Salazzle or any of those. Salazzle sucks, by the way. Never draft it. It's fucking awful. Gliscor is amazing as long as you just don't leave it in on HP Ices. Alakazam is amazing. Staraptor is really great. Metagross kind of sucks. Alomomola sucks. What else is there? Breloom is awesome. Roserade's okay. Kind of poetic justice how I traded Greg Scizor, and that's the mon that beat me. So, in hindsight, probably should have just held on to Sizz and, like, didn't get Metagross and got a different Stealth Rock type mon. Oh well, it was an interesting season. It was a fun season. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Even though this game was a little garbage for me since, like, Scizor was just like, hi, and then I lost. Oh well. Hope y'all enjoyed, and I'll see you later. Bye.